Well, good day, guys. This is Brandon, Little NC Farmer, coming back to you again today for another something different time on the 9th of November 2021. And, guys, it has been cold. We finally got last week, last Thursday and Friday, we got our first good killing, I would say a good killing frost. Uh, but It was a heavy frost, but it did not kill what I thought it would. My pepper plants actually survived. They got bit on the upper edge of them, but they're still in there. I even saw little peppers still on there. I don't know whether they'll make any more or not. Well, that remains to be seen because we've had nights since that are getting down pretty close to freezing. It was 36 here this morning, and there's actually frost on the roof of the house right now. And we had some light frost yesterday morning as well. So, and we got our wood heater. We fired it up last week and used it a couple days. I let it go out last Sunday, I believe it was. I think it got on up around 60 for the high, and it's just, it's overkill for that. But it's always good to fire that thing up for the first time in the season. So, but we got that done, and I got all my peppers and everything harvested off of my pepper plants, before all this came about. And so, I've got that. And great day in the morning. I think I picked close to half a bushel bucket full off of those two little plants down there. And it amazed me. I got in there and really got to digging. It amazed me what was in there. Guys, you see me looking. We've got crows. It's just all around here. I guess they're having prayer meeting this morning. I don't know what the deal is, but there's one over there in that tree. There's another one right there. He's the one hollering. He must be their lookout. So I don't know what their deal is, but that's three of them. There's another one down there in the neighbor's yard, and I hear a squirrel off in the distance. I can hear him growling. And so crows and squirrels don't get along. So I don't know what's taking place there. But anyway, I love to watch nature, and I love to watch things like that. But that's where we're at with the garden. And my greens, guys, they are still looking excellent. I was able to harvest, I got some of my mustard greens and the turnip greens. I got those off yesterday, and we've cooked those. We'll have those to eat today. And I've got some fairly nice looking turnips has started. I was actually surprised that I had those. I didn't know if they would make turnips or not. But thankfully, looks like we will be getting some turnips as well. And I took two collard plants. I went ahead and cut those because I had a lady at work that was wanting some collards. And so I brought them to her last night. And actually, I didn't realize it, but there was actually, looked like the ones I took out was big, and there was some beside of them that needed space to grow. So hopefully they'll come on out and bush on out and have more later. And so, but there, everything down there is looking great. I mean, I've not had an insect problem. I'm thankful for all that, and just grateful that we have that. And so, but that's where we're at there. And guys, I apologize. I normally have another video up, doing something around here, but I have been working, guys. I've not had a night off in over a week, and we're short-staffed, and they're needing me to be there. And I'm trying my best, guys, to make all I can, do it all while I can, because I really believe after the first of the year, I don't know. I think things is really going to change. But, it remains to be seen. But I'm trying to do all I can while I can and make every minute count. Uh, but I've been busy around here as well. A lot of stuff that, I wouldn't be interested to watch on a video. But I do have some things going on back here. I've still not done anything to the onions yet. I want to try to get those, transplanted and divided out in amongst those containers. And I want to do a video on that as well, so y'all bring y'all along on that, and we'll kind of watch it over the winter, and hopefully next year we'll have some good sized onions like we did last year. But I've got that, and also my blackberry vine. I can't remember, I'd have to really go back and look, but I know I've done some videos on it, but I've got to cut the dead out of it and get it ready, for winter. The vine, that produced this year is pretty much dead and gone now, and I want to do a video on that. I know I've done some videos on it, but I can't remember what I did on it. So I'll try to do another video on that. And I was looking at it yesterday, and this is amazing. Evidently, and y'all help me out here, but evidently blueberries are they're resistant to frost, the blooms. Because I've got a blueberry bush out there, guys. It is got just a handful of blooms on it. And here it is. This is November the 9th, 2021. I never believed that. And I really don't see them making it, because as the freeze comes, I'm talking about when it gets down into the 20s and even the teens, that will, I believe, take those blooms out. But I've never noticed that before. So y'all let me know in the comments if you've ever seen blueberries bloom and not get frostbite, because they've had frost on them. And evidently they are resistant to frost. Now the two varieties that I have that's bearing right now is the Brightwell and the early blue, and I believe the early blue is the one that has the blueberry, has the blooms on it. I think now it's one of the two, but those are the two types that I have, and I can't remember the name. I think the other one, the youngest one that I have, is Elliot. I think. Now I might be wrong on that. I've got all of it wrote down. It's down there in my building, and so I keep up with what's what. But that's just odd. Never saw that before. So, but anyway, that's some things I've got to do. And, these trees around here need some pruning. That apple tree and this peach tree behind me here. And also my persimmon tree. I want to work on those. I may do a video on that. I don't know. We'll just have to see how it goes. And, but that's going to be something probably pretty shortly. I'd say within another month or so I'll be doing that. And I've still got the wood. I've got to get that going. I've just got a lot of things that I've got to get in line. And I've got to have some help when I do this wood. So that's one reason I haven't jumped in there and done it yet. So, but we'll try to get on to that, shortly. So, but anyway, that's, kind of where I'm at there. And guys, when you edit these videos, now the one I'm doing today, the something different time, it's roughly about a 30-minute video, give or take a little bit. And that one takes the longest of all of them. And basically, I've got a whole day tied up in just editing. Not just making it, but the editing. And, you got to go through and you check everything, make sure there's no dead spots or anything, spots that I don't want in there. I go on and take that out. And then, add the intro and any kind of captions that I need to add to it or anything like that. That all takes time. And then once you save it, that takes the most time, just sitting there letting it sit on the computer and save itself. And then it's uploading it to YouTube. That usually has got to where anymore it takes an hour or longer for me to do that. I don't understand that. But anyway, It didn't used to take that long to upload a video to YouTube. I don't know what's changed, but anyhow, that's where that's at. And I do want to say I appreciate all my subscribers. I appreciate your prayers, your kind comments. I try to be sure that I remember to say that every time I do a something different time. Guys, I appreciate that so much. And I don't know where I'd be if it weren't for the Lord and if it weren't for people praying for us here. I don't take that for granted, and I'm grateful for that. And so I do want to tell you how much I appreciate, all of that. And I appreciate all my subscribers. Still getting some new ones on board. I noticed just this morning I was looking at my subscriber count, and it's still going up little by little, but it's going up. So, that's a good thing. I just wished I could get more views. If I get more interesting things out here, I believe that would take care of itself. And so, but anyway, I want to get into my topic today. And, as I was mentioning, about just a while ago about where I work at, being short-staffed, and I'm thinking about, why is it that way? Why does nobody want to work anymore? Everybody wants to draw a paycheck, but no one wants to get their hands dirty and actually work. And there's still a handful of people out, don't get me wrong, that don't mind working. And I mean, the folks at work has almost been afraid to even ask me if I'd be willing to work, on one of my nights off. They just asked for one. I said, I'll do better than that. I said, I'll work both of them. I said, because I really need the income right now. And said, well, we'll let you. And of course, their policy is after 14 days, you need to at least take one day off. And, that's fine. I'm okay with that. That's what I like about third shift. I don't really miss any time at home. Now, if I was on first or second, that would interfere with going to church. It would interfere with things I'm doing around here and whatnot. But I have primarily, most of my time here at home is daylight hours. Now that makes it tough about sleeping, but you try to discipline yourself and stick with it. I have no problem. My usual routine, I try to lay down and sleep in the afternoon and, get up late in the evening. And, that's typically my routine. But guys, today we're having a problem today finding people that will work. And I was thinking back about the other place I worked at way back that closed down, and I began to notice a lot of things taking place there. It's kind of like what's going on within our country right now. And there was wrongdoing that was taking place, or what maybe you and I would call wrongdoing, and nothing was being done about it. It was being let go. And I knew when I started seeing that, I knew that it was just a matter of time before things would fold up. And sure enough, it did. And because when you get to that point that you don't care, it's over. And guys, that's why I believe here in our country that, things is fixing to collapse. And when I say, I'm talking about in a big way. Most people, I've got family that thinks I've went off the deep end, thinks I'm crazy. I don't really care. You can think what you want, because you cannot do what this country is doing and expect to, it's like this. You keep writing blank checks, after a while it's going to come up, or bad checks, I might say. It's going to come home sooner or later. And we've been borrowing from Peter to pay Paul, and that's been going on for years, and it's really coming home, and now they're struggling to find that revenue. And this bill that was, I don't know, they've muddied the water so on this stuff to where you can't tell what's what now. But I know about a month and a half, maybe 2 months ago, me and my brother were talking about it because he's a farmer and he gets a lot of inside information on a lot of this stuff. And, you know, there's some things that was just in this bill that got passed, and I'm not sure. I know there's parts of it they said that didn't, and I'm not sure what that is. I looked up some stuff trying to find. They've got the water so muddy, can't nobody figure it out, and they don't want you to figure it out. But I do know that farmers would be taxed. Well, let's just call it a penalty. $2,500 per head of cattle. Now, guys, think about that just a minute. $500 per head on pork, pigs, hogs. And I can't remember, but I believe there was a tax also on poultry. Turkeys, ducks, chickens, you know, things of that nature. And I'm sure there's probably others like on sheep, goats, things of that nature too. I feel sure of. But this is what we're headed for. This is exactly what we are headed for. And you say, well, why would something? And then there's people gonna sit there. I don't believe that. The reason you don't believe it is because the only place you have to get any information is through your TV set. Your TV set is a liar. Your TV set is propaganda. It does not tell the truth. All you know is what you hear through there. You do not know the truth. The truth has been so muddied and covered up till nobody can know it anymore. You've got to dig and search and scratch and search. I'll give you a good example. There was some information back about the first of this year that a person told me about, and I looked it up for myself. I actually looked up and found some information regarding these, 5, and then Georgia starts with G. I'll say it like that. And number 5, Georgia. We'll refer to it that way. And I began to look up some stuff regarding that and regarding this right here. And I didn't know if somebody, there's a lot of facts in that. Well, guess what? You can't find that now. It's been removed. Wonder why they would want that removed. They don't want the public knowing the truth. When I say they, I'm talking about Big Brother. And people are today, they're turning their heads. It's just exactly like what went on in the 1930s in Germany when, y'all all know who it is, took over. And if you didn't meet up to a certain criteria, if you didn't fit in his mold, he got rid of you. And we've got a bunch of idiots. There was some videos here on YouTube. I don't know if they still are or not. But you got idiots today saying that none of that ever happened. I mean, I can't say that it did or that it didn't. I wasn't living during that time. I'm just going based on history and what we've been taught. And, I do know that there's some memorials over there that's actually been, there's one, I can't remember the name of it, but there's one, it's a great big round dome, and it has a cover over it, and inside there's a big round, it's full of the ashes of all the people that was murdered. I mean, I don't know where they came from, do you? But, I mean, our society now is just simply warped. They're wanting to erase history. They're wanting to eradicate things. They do not want people to know the truth. And it burns me up. It burns me. That's why I do not watch the television no more. I don't watch the news there no more. I am so fed up with it, guys. I am so fed up with their propaganda and their lies. And I'm gonna tell you something. I probably know more about what's going on than they do. You say, well, where do you get your information? Listen. You listen and you watch people that you can trust, that you know, that's got a level head on them. I mean, guys, I don't know of anybody, I don't care if you look at FOX, I don't care which station you look at, they're all a bunch of liars. They're all about promoting the propaganda. Let me just go ahead and get in trouble. If your party, your political party, I'm going to try to say this without saying the name, but if your political party is on the left, you know, that's the one that starts with a D. There's good people in that party. There has been great people in that party. But your party has been hijacked. And it's been hijacked by a bunch of idiots. And you just well on up to it, but I ain't done. I ain't done yet, because I'm going to hit my party next. Mine's on the other side. It's on the right, and it starts with an R. And it's been hijacked by a bunch of lazy, no-account bums that just don't want to do nothing. And I don't care who knows I said that. They've got where they want, and that's as far as they're going to go. Now, there's still a few in there. There's still a few on both sides that actually are for the people. But, and thank God that there's people like, well, I won't call no names, but the Mr. Cruz down in Texas. I mean, I'll tell you, the first time I ever heard that man, there was something he said that just really, and I've just had a utmost respect for him since. He said that Jesse Helms was his hero. Well, he's mine too. Boy, I miss old Jesse. And we were blessed here in North Carolina to have a great senator, Jesse Helms. And there's been others. Let me just go ahead and say it. We had Strom Thurmond down in South Carolina, great man, stood for what was right. But then you go down, I believe in Georgia, Mr. Sam Nunn and Zell Miller, they were Democrats, but they were great men. I mean, they stood for what was right. They stood for what was morally right. And what we got today, everything that's right in our eyes is wrong in theirs. And everything that's wrong in our eyes is right, according to people today. That's where we're at today, guys. And everything now is so backwards and so warped and so twisted. And so we got these people now that comes on the workforce that don't want to do nothing. You take these little young punks that's right out of college, thinks they've got all the book knowledge and they know it all, they know everything, but they know absolutely nothing about being on the floor making a job go. I think of somebody that's been to school to be an architect. Put them out here building a house. Now, if you're a carpenter and you've built houses, and you probably know this exactly where I'm going with this. You get these plans that's been drew up by these college-raised architects, and there's no way that you can bring it to fruition by what they've got in that plan, but yet then your building code inspector comes out there and says, no, it's got to be by that, but that right there is not going to work. And I mean, and that comes back to someone that's never been on the ground, on the floor, that's experienced and know what's going on out there. That's what we've got today. We've got a bunch of book-educated people that are running something and have never had hands-on experience doing absolutely nothing. That's where we're at. That's why nobody wants to work no more. Then you got the lazy crowd, you know, they don't want to do nothing. And the only reason they show up for an interview to get a job is just so they can bum around and draw a paycheck or two till they get let go from there, and then they'll do it again someplace else. I mean, we've seen that over and over where I'm at right now. And you can't tell people nothing. They come in, you tell them this is the way we do it here. Well, I'm going to do it my way. That's not how I work. I've got a video on here, and it gets a lot of views, but it's not monetized. But the great Jerry Clower, and he gives some sound advice. He said, if you get a job, first day on the job, you find out who the boss is. And when you find out who the boss is, you do what he tells you. And I mean, and the lady that I work for, she's our boss on third shift, and she's excellent. She will stand up for us employees, and if we're wrong, she'll tell us we're wrong. She don't have a problem doing that, but if we've done all we can do, and she'll stand up for us. I'm thankful for that. And but I'm telling you right now, guys, today on our jobs and our work, it's the beatingest mess I have ever seen in my life. It wouldn't do for me to be a foreman, a supervisor, or anything. I mean, it would not. I mean, they wouldn't have nobody by the time I got done with them. I'm just telling you. And this is just how I am. You come on the job site and you're working for me, I expect you to be on time, number one. Number two, I expect you to be there every day. I don't deal with people that's out all the time. I just cannot do that. Number three, I expect you to do your job, to do your work, your assigned work. Not sit and wait to see if somebody else is going to do it for you. And if you don't know, if you're having trouble and you're struggling with it, for God's sakes, ask somebody. I mean, there'll be somebody that'll help. That's what I did. I mean, I've had to learn. My job's not technically all that hard. It's more hands-on physical labor, what I'm doing, versus, you know, mentally. I mean, you got to keep a mind on what's going on, what's where. But I just had to ask, you know, basically, where does this go? Where can I put this? Where will I find this at? And how does this machine here operate? And, you know, blah, blah, that. But if you don't ask questions, you're not going to learn nothing. But a lot of people, they don't want to know anything. The less questions they can ask, the less they'll know, and the less they know, the less they feel they're responsible for. That's where, see, that's how that works. And, you know, that's just not the way I am. If they're going to pay me a salary, they expect me to work, and that's what I'm going to do. And I'll tell you one thing, this job that I've got right now, I'm finding out I'm not 20 years old no more. But I'm thankful for it. It's keeping a roof over my head. It's putting food on our table. And I'm thankful that God's blessed me with it. And so I'm going to continue to thank Him. Well, guys, hopefully we'll be back later. Hopefully the next time you'll see me, I'll be out here doing something. I don't know what it's going to be yet, but hopefully we'll have something going on, and we'll do our next something different time. But guys, that's where we're at today. That's why we can't get people to work. And so I don't know. I don't really see where that's going to change anytime soon. Managements and these, you know, the management in a lot of these places, they're so short-staffed, they're scared to make anybody mad, run anybody off now. Well, this is my take on that. You don't have nothing as it is, so what are you going to lose? Run them off. run them off and get somebody that will work. I mean, you may have to go through 4 or 5 dozen people before you ever find one, but you'll find one sooner or later. And I'm going to hush here in a second. But I just thought of a place that I used to work at years ago. Now, this has been since I left there, but a guy told me, he said that the man that owned the company, he got all the plant together. Well, out in one department, I think it was. Got that whole department together, all 3 shifts. And he told about a problem. I don't even remember what it was now, but he said, I'm going to start firing y'all 1 shift at a time till this problem goes away. Now, he said, I mean business, and he said, if you think I'm playing with you, try me. And I don't remember what it was that was going on out there, but there was something happening that he wasn't happy with, and he was going to stop it one way or the other. And guys, that's what we need today. And, you know, if you say, well, that's hard, you shouldn't feel, well, if you're not going to work, don't even get a job. Don't even go get one. It's just like me and a guy at work were talking this morning about a certain situation. He said, it's no different than if I walked up to you, grabbed your billfold out of your pocket, took some money out, put it back, and walked off. He said it's the same thing, and that's exactly right. It's the same exact thing, guys. And, you know, I go back to what the good book says. The Word of God says, if a man don't work, he should not eat. Don't quote it just exactly like that. But said, you'll eat your bread by the sweat of your face. That means you're going to have to work. And today, I'll never forget, when I first started employment, I was going in to fill out my tax information and all that, and the lady was there behind the desk. She said, I'm glad to see young men want to work. I said, well, the good book says if you don't work, you shouldn't eat. She said, I know it says that, but that ain't the way it is now. She said, there's people that don't work eating a whole lot better than me and you are. And that was 30 some years ago, guys. So what in the world would she say today? And bless her heart, she's done dead and gone on to be with the Lord. So anyway, guys, I'm going to finish up here, and I hope y'all have a great week. Stay safe, and Lord willing, we'll talk to you the next time. Have a great day, everybody.